Let's stay in South Carolina. Well, that state Supreme Court, speaking of them, struck down the 6-week abortion ban there, which is quite interesting here. The majority Republican court decided that abortion remains legal in South Carolina until 20 weeks of pregnancy. It was a 3-2 vote. The majority noted that based upon the state constitution, a person's right to privacy is there, that any limitation on that privacy must be reasonable and afford a woman sufficient time to determine she is pregnant and take reasonable steps to terminate that pregnancy. The thing about this ruling here, Kelly, is that abortion rights lawyers have been studying the protections in state constitutions, and they are filing lawsuits in state courts saying that bans on abortion is violating these state constitutions. And so it's a novel legal strategy. And of course, they were hoping that with the Supreme Court, thinking that it applied across the country, now they must go state by state. This is major because of all states is South Carolina, the state Supreme Court ruling. And so they say, hey, if we won there, this could bode well in other southern states.
You're right that it's fascinating, but I am still incredibly irritated by the fact that these brilliant legal minds have to go this route in order to preserve something that should frankly be a human right, which is the right to control what I do with my body. That should be a completely autonomous decision, and it should not, my personhood should not be in the courts as a political token, if you will. But back to a portion of your segment where you say voting matters. This is why federalism matters, because there are certain aspects of law that should just be blanketed across the country, which is what Roe v. Wade did. It was a nationwide thing. And now because of this court, it has been decentralized to the point where you have to go state by state by state to determine just how much of an autonomous woman I am. And that is frustrating. It is incredibly infuriating. But more importantly, it's just sad that we have to go back to this archaic mindset of having to rely on someone, mainly men, to figure out whether I'm woman enough to take care of myself. Basically.
This is well, unfortunately, this is what happens when you have laws that are passed and the courts can overturn them. Congress could have fixed this by actually passing a law that invalidates what the Supreme Court said. They haven't done that. And so too many Democrats were hoping the court would keep it in place. They should have paid attention. Republicans are like, no, we get control of the courts. We're getting rid of this. That's why it must be enshrined into law. And that's why those laws matter. Otherwise, you leave it up to the courts. All right, folks, back to our Roland Unfiltered video in just one moment. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.